Hi everyone, and welcome to the second part of session 6, where we talk about customer service and the importance of building a loyal client base. So in terms of customer service, it is important to be aware that your customers should be provided a good service in order to create that therapeutic relationship and a relationship of trust with your clients. And it is important to that you will be able to market your own business by word of mouth if you have consumers that feel satisfied and that feel that they have been looked after and that their health goals have been addressed appropriately in terms of what their demands or needs are. So it is not just about where a client comes in and you treat them and they provide you with a payment and then you're disconnected with them. It is more about making sure that you're following up correctly with them, making sure that you understand the needs of the client, and these days what we call it as client-centered care, which is that you really need to focus on the needs of your clients and provide them with the service accordingly. Sometimes you will find that clients come to you with a range of different complaints or conditions, and therefore it is important to identify what their health goals or needs are and try and look at it from that perspective. So if you can understand what their needs are and what their priorities are that they need to address, then you can work with them, and this gives them a reassurance that they are being listened to or looked after, in a sense that it's not just about your knowledge or expertise in the field, but it's also about putting their needs as a priority. And once you do that, it becomes an essential part of your practice, and they would be able to value that service much more than what other people or other businesses would have to offer in that locality. So if you want to surround yourself with like-minded people, if you're passionate about what you want to do, you kind of want to build a community around you, then it's not just about providing a certain service, but it's also more about the values that are underlying it, and how would you build a community, how would you provide that sort of loyalty in your consumers that they would be able to give to you in terms of the service that they get. So the focus is on cultivating a loyal, engaged, enthusiastic community, and they would be able to support your business and be able to promote it and talk to others about the benefits of it if you have created a relationship of trust. And it's more about all these three factors in combination, which is the first factor is about knowing a certain service or product, the second one is about liking it, and then the third one is about trusting it. So all these three factors in combination help in creating that sort of a loyalty. So the no factor is where a potential customer is more likely to sign up, or it comes to you as a client because they have been suffering from a certain condition and they have been aware of this particular industry that they want to sort of get the service from, or if they kind of value the naturopathic or nutritional approach to health and well-being, so they recognize it and they recognize you as a person or your business because they have heard about it from somewhere. So that's the first aspect of it. The second one is the like factor. So you pretty much convert that potential consumer into your client by giving them information about who you are, about what your values are, what are you going to offer to them, and how you're going to help them in their journey to achieve their health goals. And the third one is the trust factor. So where this is the major sort of deciding factor, where they will be interested in working with you and they will follow up the process and they will come back to you and they will be able to seek help or assistance from you every time, because now they trust in you, and because now they feel that they have seen the results, they have seen the positive outcome, and they are now more likely to come back to you and refer other people to you rather than going somewhere else. So this is how the whole strategy would work, by firstly knowing, so it's about who you are, about what you do. Second is about whether they like you or not, whether they think that you have certain things that are similar values or aligned to what their belief system is. Third is whether they can trust you or not. And then once you have that trust, it is more about, where do you go next from there. So many customers will see a product's price as a crucial factor as well, because they want to, it's about their spending money on getting a service, and they want to spend money on something that is good quality and that is sort of giving them excellent customer service. So if you want to have that positive buying experience for them, and if you create that through your through building that trust and through building that relationship with them, then they are far more likely to return and to have that trust factor, rather than just having a one-off sort of a consultation and then not following up that process. So that's why it is important to also focus on retention. So creating those bonds for a long time gives the business a good sustainability, and it is important to continually engage the clients, even if they have received a good service and they are happy with it, and now they're ready to sort of step aside and follow on their path. You can still keep that communication or that channel going on, so that if in case later on they feel like they need your help or assistance in some other way, or if they want to pass that feedback on to someone else, they would be able to do that rather than switching to some of your competitors. So building the consumer loyalty is about people who are connected to each other through a different idea, through one particular idea, and they share the same sort of interest, or they have a similar way to communicate, and that's where you will be able to see that loyalty happening. And once that happens, you will see more consumer retention as well. And therefore you see that these days so many competitors offer certain unique sort of ideas or stand out from the crowd, which is not just by providing a certain product or service, by making sure that it's excellent in that way. So when you're running your own business, you want to surround yourself with like-minded people who are passionate as well. And so you can take this time to reflect on how can you contribute as a natural medicine practitioner. How can you create strong bonds with other clients and other practitioners as well? Because when we are in a health practice industry, it is important to have these networks. It is important to support each other, and it is important to be able to assist each other or share ideas or bounce off ideas with other practitioners, because once we are in that network, it just becomes more bigger and it creates more awareness amongst the people as well, rather than just being a solo practitioner and having that mindset of not sharing your experiences or your cases or your learning with other people. So it is important to have that community or work in that community of natural health practitioners, and creating that bond which will be able to work both as a benefit on both aspects as well. So with consumer retention, when we talk about engagement, quality, and service, it is about, like we were talking about price previously. So price is one of the very important deciding factor where the business can benefit from products that are good quality, that engage, that offer the right sort of customer service and the buying experience. So customer tend to come back, or they have a good retention when they see all these factors tied in together, which includes the pricing, which includes the quality, which includes the experience that they have as well. So next we talk about self-promotion and marketing. So self-promotion and marketing about your business is really just you talking about yourself and trying to have a short speech that you can probably give about yourself, and that could be something that you can use as a way of introducing yourself to someone and talking about people when they ask you what your sort of business is about, or what is it that you do and what are you interested in doing. So it should have all these factors, and it should really be about what your services offer. It should also make people understand, or something that really kind of interests them and outlines what you can provide for them. So it should be something that is a good self-promotion speech that you can use for people who are coming to you for the first time, or people who are meeting you for the first time and want to know more about your business and services. So if you look at these revision questions here, they will be able to give you a little bit more reflection on what we've talked about in today's session, and why is it important to be aware of all those guidelines that we discussed previously in terms of advertising. What is the importance of call to action, and why is it important to focus on consumer retention as well? So think about these questions, reflect on them, write them down. There's also another discussion activity that's been provided for this session. If you look at under the weekly tab, you'd be able to see the discussion questions which you can answer in that discussion forum, and that will be a useful activity to do just as a review or a recap of today's session. So I'll see you in the next one then.